from the University of Laverne. This is Foothill Community News.
Hello, and welcome to another show of Foothill Community News. I am Brandy Peters.
And I'm Michael Hill. We start our news today with the history-making strike in the healthcare industry. Thousands of Kaiser Permanente health employees went on a 3-day strike over work condition and wages. Reporter Michelle Rodon went out to the picket lines to bring us the story.
Kaiser employees represented by the coalition of Kaiser Permanente unions held the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history. More than 75,000 workers across multiple states joined the picket lines on October 4th after the contract between the unions and Kaiser expired and no deal was reached.
We're striking because Kaiser executives refuse to listen to frontline healthcare workers, and they continue to bargain in bad faith over the solutions that we need to solve the Kaiser short staffing crisis.
Kaiser is California's largest healthcare provider. Workers out here at Baldwin Park Medical Center say they could have been resolved sooner.
We feel that if Kaiser executives would have came to the table and bargained in good faith when we started in the month of April, we wouldn't even been here. It wasn't until we provided them with the 10-day strike notice that they started getting the ball moving.
Among the union's demands are an increase in staffing, which declined during the COVID-19 pandemic, a cost of living pay hike over 4 years starting at 7%, performance bonus of no less than $1,500, and improved benefits. The employees say this fight is not just for their benefit, but for the patients as well.
We've been asked multiple times, well, you know, like, how does this affect our patient care? It affects them greatly. And the thing is, like, we wouldn't have to have had our patients affected if they also listened to us too, you know. But that's the thing, it feels like it's not 50-50. There's no middle ground where we can be met at.
The fight that we're fighting now is going to benefit those who are trying to enter into the medical profession. What we're doing right now will pave the way for better careers for them.
In response to the strike, Kaiser put out a statement saying it had offered to increase wages over the next 4 years and raise the minimum hourly wage, as well as provide a minimum bonus. However, the unions and Kaiser could not come to an agreement on the terms.
A settlement is yet to be reached as Kaiser Permanente and the coalition of Kaiser Permanente unions continue to bargain. I'm Michelle Roldan, reporting for Foothill Community News.
Kaiser and the unions have agreed to go back to the bargaining table and say if no agreement is reached, another strike next month is very possible.
The fight against breast cancer took to the streets in Chino this month to support and raise breast cancer awareness. Reporter Jasmine Soria caught up with participants at the American Cancer Society Making Strides walk and brings us the story.
Breast cancer survivors and supporters came out to raise awareness and money for breast cancer research.
I think it's seeing all of our survivors walking and their support system. That is absolutely stunning and beautiful to see that they're waking up early, walking, and making sure our goal is still 9 and 8 as well.
Participants gathered in the early morning at the Chino City Hall, where they heard from city officials and a breast cancer survivor before heading on a 3-mile walk.
My mother is a survivor. My sister and I were diagnosed 2 weeks apart, and I didn't really know anything about the American Cancer Society until a few months after my last round of chemo. I knew that they did research, but I didn't know about all the events that they did to bring people together and really raise the funds to continue the research that's going to one day put an end to cancer.
The Inland Empire region raised a total of $3,500. But with more than 100 walks all over the U.S., Making Strides set a goal to raise $113,000. According to the American Cancer Society, 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. Many participants walk because they are survivors, while others have friends and loved ones who are currently battling breast cancer.
I am a survivor, and I think it's important that we continue to support those who are going through and to reassure them that it's not going to last forever. You're going to come out of this stronger than ever. So that's why I participate.
The community joins together to celebrate and honor those survivors of breast cancer and give support to those that are currently in the battle. The participants are currently crossing the finish line with power and determination. This is Jasmine Soria for Foothill Community News.
Students at the University of Verne learned the importance of making their voices heard by taking part in the Ready, Set, Vote workshop. Reporter Camila de la Fuente says the workshop kicked off National Voter Week.
Next year, many students will be voting for the first time. Ready, Set, Vote helped them learn the ins and outs of casting a ballot so they can be #voter-ready.
I believe voting is important because you need to cast your vote. You need to voice your opinion, because when you vote, you're making changes to the world today, whether you realize it or not, whether it's climate, action, environmental, social, your vote matters.
The event was sponsored by the Office of Civic and Community Engagement and the Andrew Goodman Foundation. Student ambassadors Jasmine Hakamo and Sara Vidriesca led students in a fun and engaging discussion.
I think one of the biggest barriers is misinformation or ignorance, like not knowing how to vote, where to vote, and not having access to that crucial information, as well as having the incorrect information, which could be, it's a very prominent issue nowadays.
Participants were also treated to snacks and other keepsakes. In the end, they were ready to tackle the barriers and the legal technicalities that come with voting, and they gained an understanding of what their vote means.
Our democracy only works when we participate in it, so making sure we vote is essential, for the function of society.
By completing a pledge to vote for the upcoming election, students had the extra incentive of a free Leo's Vote t-shirt. Research suggests efforts to reach students, connecting them to issues and resources like today's event, have led to higher voter turnout among college students in the past. Reporting for Foothill Community News, I'm Camila de la Fuente.
Guests got an up-close and personal lesson on things that go bump in the night. At the California Botanical Garden, reporter Stephen Gilson went to see what it was about.
Children and adults of all ages at the California Botanical Garden were able to learn about nocturnal animals like owls, spiders, and even a wolf dog at the interactive program Things That Go Bump in the Night.
Got various stations dedicated to owls, to wolf dogs, to plants. We're giving night tours.
The California Botanic Garden organizes events like Things That Go Bump in the Night to allow the average person to go out and enjoy what nature has to offer.
We are celebrating all of the nocturnal plants and animals that make California so awesome at Things That Go Bump in the Night.
Volunteer Juliet Kane of the Pomona Valley Audubon Society brought along owl to the exhibit, giving guests a rare look at these night birds.
I really love the opportunity to bring these birds out where people can see them and get up close and really appreciate how beautiful and amazing they are.
Patrons at the event also got to do fun and interactive activities, like dissect an owl pellet, which is waste excreted from the owl, and a nocturnal animal trivia game. Charlie and Naomi Safford say that the event was a good thing to spend time with their families.
We're curious to learn new stuff. We learned what an owl pellet was tonight, and we dissected it and saw some rat bones and stuff in there, and it was pretty cool.
Stovall says events like these are not just about fun, but also aimed at broadening people's understanding of nature and its animals.
It's wonderful to see a live owl, but we're also hoping that folks will come away learning a little bit about owls and how they interact with other animals and plants in the communities.
The California Botanic Garden hosts other small events, like yoga in the garden and birdwalks in nature. So be sure to look out for any future activities coming up. Stephen Gilson Jr., Foothill Community News.
Locals learned all about the Mid-Autumn Festival and how important the tradition is to the Asian cultures. Reporter Michelle Rodan was there to take us along.
About 20,000 people came together at Mount San Antonio College for the Mid-Autumn Festival to celebrate the Asian cultural tradition and learn more about it.
I think culture is really important for our community, especially for the AAPI community. So through the culture, we need to letting more people to know each other, each group. So we can break the language barriers, we can break the ethnic barriers.
The Mid-Autumn Festival, also known as the Moon Festival, is celebrated each year on the 15th day of the 8th month of the Chinese lunisolar calendar. This year, A little rain didn't stop these attendees from coming out.
We have an AAPI club at our school, and this was one of the events that I was actually looking at. We wanted to go somewhere for the Mooncake Festival.
It's cool to be like around with friends, knowing their culture, knowing more of this kind of stuff.
The event featured lots of Asian traditional dancing, musical performances, vendors, and cuisine. The most popular item, of course, was the mooncake, a thick and tender pastry containing a salted egg yolk symbolizing the full moon. Traditional Japanese drumming performers Moswan and Jovan from the University of Riverside, Sainru's Taiko Club, welcomed attendees to the festival through their performance.
I think giving us the opportunity to perform at events like this is very helpful because it helps us all grow as performers and it gives us something to work towards.
They played a total of 4 songs along with the festival traditional song, Matsuri.
I had no context when it comes to musical culture, when it comes to Japan and then Japanese Americans in Japan. I had no background for that history. And just learning from different people in the different cultures in the club, I've learned a lot that I wouldn't have learned otherwise.
This year's Mid-Autumn Festival, also known as the Moon Festival, was made more special by the full moon the night before. The full moon recognizes reunion, which was the main goal this event had for bringing families together. I'm Michelle Roldan reporting for Foothill Community News.
When we come back, we'll take a look at some events to get you into the fall spirit.
And we'll tell you what's going on around the town.
There's a blood shortage and we came up to Dead Lover's Point at midnight on Friday the 13th.
Lame.
Guess I'm gonna waste all this blood by dying in a predictable horror movie way.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it. When was the last time you donated blood?
Fall is here, which means it's time to carve that pumpkin. The annual Cal Poly Pumpkin Festival is here and has everything you might need to kick off fall festivities. Reporter Taylor Moore was there to show us around.
Area residents in search of the perfect jack-o'-lantern had thousands to choose from at LA County's largest pumpkin patch at Cal Poly Pomona College. The annual event kicked off earlier this month with activities for kids, including the Moo Moo Cow Train and the Duck Races game, along with food, vendors, and the chance to get into the fall spirit. Couple Leah Barrera and James Tully came out for a fall-themed date night.
We just want to get outside.
It's October 1st, so it's something to get the October month festivities started.
Cal Poly Pomona's College of Agriculture started the Pumpkin Festival around 30 years ago, but it has grown so big that it now grows 40,000 pumpkins that guests can come choose from. What was originally just a small pumpkin patch is now a mini fair, complete with a butterfly exhibit, a petting zoo, and fall-themed vendors. One of those vendors was Elizabeth Zambrano, owner of Viva las Calaveras, where she designs her own jewelry. She says one of her favorite parts of the Pumpkin Fest is the interaction with customers.
And I like to interact with all the people that I meet, and it's something different every day, so it's nice. I like it.
The Cal Poly Pumpkin Patch Festival runs through October 29th. Tickets can be bought at cpp.edu/pumpkinfestival. I'm Taylor Moore reporting for Foothill Community News.
The Pomona Fairplex received a Halloween makeover for the first time and is now the Fearplex. I went to check out all it has to offer. It's lights out here at the Pomona Fairplex as guests enjoy some classic Oktoberfest drinks and some good old-fashioned frights and scares. The main attraction and scariest of them all was the 3 fear-filled mazes that had people running and screaming for their lives. I decided to ask some scary-looking but quite friendly clowns what their favorite part of the Fearplex is.
We've got 3 mazes. We've got the zombie maze on this side, we've got clowns on this side, and we've got nightmares, the 3rd maze.
Okay, my name's Cupcake the Clown.
Hi, Cupcake. Do you want to tell the viewers anything?
Stay spooky.
The mazes weren't the only attraction at Lights Out, but also there were vendors selling Halloween-themed merchandise, zombie-themed esports, and also a zombie shooting gallery.
And also the vendors as well. Stop by the Creepsville booth and get some Creepsville merchandise.
I just happened to bump into the creators of the Lights Out Fairplex, so I decided to ask them what their personal favorite event was.
My personal favorite thing here is the Jelly Ball. That is something that's really cool that we are doing over at the very edge of the DJ booth. We have live actors that come towards you, and you just blast them away with these little, think like a diet paintball. Like, it's not as hard as a paintball, and it's a little cleaner.
It's water-based.
It leaves a little mark. It leaves a little mark when you get shot.
I was surprised at how much I like the clown maze, because I'm impartial about clowns, and just going through with just all the art direction we did and just the actors in place, it warmed my heart walking through them, being like, oh, this is so scary. I love it.
Tickets are selling fast, so make sure you look to get them for select dates only.
The Fairplex is just one of the many scary events that take over October. But why go? How can jump scares be fun? Reporter Megan Mojica attended Castle Dark and Universal's Halloween Horror Nights to find out.
Every year, thousands of people attend horror-themed events, so they can be scared out of their mind. But what makes a person want to go through the terror of being frightened by ghosts, ghouls, and murderers?
It's thrilling. It releases some of those things I've been holding on to. It just lets me just let them out.
Recreational fear is the term used to describe the phenomena. It's defined as a mix of fear and enjoyment. Thrill seekers can get their fix of an adrenaline rush while knowing they are in a safe environment.
A haunted house, it allows you to experience fear, but there's that safety net. You know that guy in the mask or that chainsaw really doesn't, hopefully, doesn't have a real chain link in there to come and get you. So
for some, it can be an anxiety-inducing event, while for others, it's a fun escape from reality.
It's something different than the normal, really. The everyday stuff can get kind of boring.
I went to check out some of the thrills at Universal Studios, and it was definitely exhilarating. The horror mazes are not only for the scares, they also bring people together.
It's a fun thing, especially in a group, because you all get scared together and it just makes it 10 times better.
Horror events are not only just a fun adrenaline rush, they also help to bond people together through the scares. And you could definitely feel a sense of thrill here tonight at Castle Park. Reporting for Foothill Community News, I'm Megan Mojica.
Looking for something to do? Look no more. We have what's going on around the town. Halloween is creeping up, so it's time to get spooky at the City of Laverne's Halloween Carnival at Heritage Park. Guests can enjoy music, games, prizes, and all kinds of entertainment. A free food ticket is available for ages 3 through 21 who pre-register. Come get your fright on at the Halloween Carnival Saturday, October 28th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
It's almost time for Claremont's annual Village Venture Festival. Families and friends are invited for a day of music, food trucks, and over 400 vendors. From costume parades to live music, there's something for everyone. Come on down Saturday, October 28th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the historic Claremont Village.
Who doesn't love a good In-N-Out burger? The Pomona Fairplex is celebrating the fast food chain's 75th anniversary with drag racing, a car show, music, carnival games, and rides, and of course, those world-famous burgers on October 22nd, all day at the Pomona In-N-Out drag strip. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit thefairplex.com/In-N-Out 75th Anniversary Festival.
Make sure you have your ofrendas ready for Dia de los Muertos because the Pomona Fairplex is celebrating with El Memoria. Guests will be immersed in the Latin tradition with performing artists, low-rated culture, and of course, delicious food. On November 4th from 3 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. You can purchase your tickets at fairplex.com/enmemoria.
Coast down to the Twilight Car Cruise to take a look at classic cars.
And we'll tell you the latest in sports. We'll be right back.
Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering purpose and belonging well-earned. Fighting and winning for our nation and its people. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment is visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine.
Welcome back. It's time for our local sports update.
Reporter Camila De La Fuente joins us with the latest. How are the teams doing?
It's crunch time. We're coming down to the final few weeks of the fall sports season, and there are a number of local teams looking to get into the playoffs. First, a top 20 matchup between ULV Volleyball and the Claremont Mudscripts Athenas from reporter Emmanuel Garibaldi-Stevenson.
The stage was set for the volleyball game of the year. The 6th-ranked Claremont Mudscripts Athenas, winners of 7 straight SCIAC titles, were hosting the 19th-ranked Laverne Leopards, who were chasing history. Laverne won their first 14 games of the season, tying the program's record for its longest win streak. But the Athenas proved they're still the team to beat, shutting out the Leopards in 3 sets and snapping the streak.
We knew the contest was obviously going to be between 2 very talented teams. It was going to be a heated contest, but there's a lot of familiarity there too. So it really came down to in-game adjustments.
Laverne was a 1 point away from taking a 1-0 lead before the Athenas capitalized on Laverne's mistakes and miscommunications. That trend would continue throughout the night. Laverne struggled in the second set. Nearly half of the Athenas points came courtesy of errors. CMS took a 2-0 lead, winning the second frame 25-16. A back-and-forth battle in the third and final set was not enough for the Leopards to prevail. 2022 National Player of the Year, Jenna Holmes, had 8 of her 16 kills in the third to put away the game. Despite leading the Leopards with 18 kills, Laverne's Maya Ray knew that wasn't her team's best performance.
I definitely think that we could have played a little better. We definitely hung in there the first and third set, but just keep our mistakes to a minimum and keep fighting.
The 2023 Leopards tied the 2008 team for the longest consecutive win streak. According to both coaches, many of these players have been familiar with each other since before college. Leopards head coach Jeff Hendershot acknowledged the Athenas talent.
You got to be happy about that. It's a really good team across the net, and for us to hang with them and be right there in it, we got our things to work on, but we proved tonight that we can play with anybody.
The Leopards and Athenas will likely square off again in the SCIAC postseason tournament the weekend of November 10th. From Roberts Pavilion in Claremont, Emmanuel Garibaldi-Stevenson, Foothill Community News.
Keeping it on the court, there are a few high school volleyball teams killing it. The girls at San Dimas High School are leading all local teams with 22 wins and have not lost a league game yet. The Glendora High School girls volleyball team is hot on their tail though, with an undefeated league record of their own and 19 wins this season. Bonita is the third and final volleyball team to watch, having gone 8-1 in league and are right behind the Tardans in the Palomares League standings. Jumping into the pool for some high school water polo, reigning CIF Division III champion Damien High School picked up right where they left off. The Spartans are 13-6 overall with no league losses yet. Bonita's high school water polo team is also playing well. The Bearcats have an overall record closer to 500, but have gone 3-1 in league action. And what good is local sports without some high school football? Damien remains the team to beat, boasting an 8-0 record that will be battle-tested next week against another undefeated team, the Rancho Cucamonga High School Cougars. Make sure to catch that game live at Damien High School on Friday night, October 20th. Kickoff is at 7. That's all we've got for sports. Back to you.
Thanks, Camilo. Car fanatics pull up to show off their favorite vehicles at the Twilight Cruise Night. Reporter Aiden Balderas was there to give us some look at the sweet rides.
It was a night for cruising at the Pomona Fairplex as the Twilight Cruise Night rolled out hundreds of classic rides that included hot rods, race cars, vintage trucks, classic cars, and everything in between.
Drag racer for a very long time. Recently retired from teaching. I taught in high school for 40 years and coached. And this is one of the premier events in Southern California for former racers and for classic cars.
The event took place at the NHRA Museum at the Fairplex, where car lovers could not only check out vintage cars, but learn about their history. Tons of families, hot rod owners, former racers, and overall classic car fans got to witness it all up close at this event. Many had the unique chance to experience the NHRA Museum, Music, Food, and Raffle.
And I'm here to support the NHRA Twilight Cruise with our car. My dad was born and raised in Laverne, so I wanted to bring him out.
Outside the museum, attendees showcased their own vehicles, giving visitors a peek under the hoods. Former drag racer John Duran runs every Twilight Cruise night event. His love for classic cars and chance to meet new people is the reason he's been dedicated for so many years.
I've been doing this Twilight going on 27 years. So I've seen a few shows, and no, this is a very, very nice show. You get to meet a lot of people. It's a fun show.
The NHRA Motorsports Museum opens every Wednesday at the start of the month. Mark your calendars for November 1st and December 6th for the museums to reopen in Fairplex. This is Maleras live for Foothill Community News.
Coming up, we'll dive into a walk full of food, fun, and cheers.
We'll be right back.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
San Dimas was in good spirits as residents got together to enjoy the beer and wine walk. I went to see what it was all about.
The warm weather coupled with great company made a perfect evening to enjoy delicious food and drinks at the San Dimas Chamber Beer and Wine Walk Saturday. People from all over strolled through historic downtown San Dimas, sampling wine and beer that were highlighted from local breweries and wine vintners. Mount Baldy resident Noah Benjamin says it was the perfect night for festivities.
It's a great event. Weather's well, beers are good, food's good, a lot of nice people walking around, a lot of smiles shared. I'm enjoying myself a lot.
San Dimas Chamber of Commerce co-chair ambassador Marilyn Sparks says the beer and wine walk is a good way to let people know what's available in the area. Our restaurants that come from other parts of the valley, but also they get to go into the shops that are here. So we get so many people that say, gosh, I didn't even know this place existed. 4 different brewing companies served up drinks as customers waited to get a sample. Kevin Tawari shares with us his tasty treat and a fun fact.
World famous pulled pork on a brioche bun. Looks amazing. And I'm drinking Oktoberfest beer from Laverne Brewing Company. And fun fact, Oktoberfest ends this weekend in Germany. But us Americans, we keep celebrating all month long. So, fun fact.
Erica Robinson and Miguel Vasquez of Los Angeles heard about the event through Instagram and decided to give it a try.
We always love looking for events to go out and drink in public. You know, drinking was made to be done in public and around community, around people. So that's how we found this event, and it's nice. Yeah, it's great.
After an evening of social drinking and eating, the night concluded with live music and a DJ playing pop standards.
That'll do it for us. You can watch our upcoming newscasts and previous shows at foothillcommunitynews.org. Follow the updates on X and Foothill Com News.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.